Are you ready for me to talk about a recent hyperfixation of mine, which is the JFK assassination? So I got onto this topic. I saw like a TikTok in passing, and it was about Africa and how Africa's the richest continent in like the world, but it's all the countries are poor because of imperialism and colonialism, and countries like the EU, obviously America, go in and take all the resources, and also multinational evil corporations like Shell. And really quickly, can we all boo Shell on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3. Boo! Yeah, Shell's like really bad. So this like very brief 2-minute TikTok was saying how every Democratic leader elected to an African country that is dedicated to bringing wealth into the country, anti-imperialist, all those things, they always die under mysterious circumstances. And JFK was very like pro African liberation and all of those things. I think that's the next slide. It is. This is from the JFK Library, Presidential Library. I found the internet. Look it up later because I didn't know this stuff. It's like very cool. And then the TikTok alluded that he wanted to like dismantle the CIA because he was upset that they killed the leader of the Congo, and then like 8 months later, a diplomat that was there to like also liberate the Congo. But it just like in my head was like, oh yeah, this makes sense that like some sort of like globalism murdered JFK. But like it wasn't like just an inside job, and it wasn't just like, I forget who the vice president was, but it wasn't just him. LBJ, who was it? I don't know. It's fine. Johnson, thanks, Ben. Ben was on Jeopardy, he knows. I'm like, and like, there's a bunch of other reasons they could have wanted to kill him. Like he didn't want to go to like war in the Vietnam. There was like a Bay of Pigs thing. There was like also a Cold War. That like, there's like always a Cold War. So I was like, you know what? I never like sat down and like really like looked into like this assassination. So I wanted to find like a good documentary. And so I went to Reddit to be like, tell me like what's really like going on. And so they recommended this one called The Men Who Killed Kennedy, and it's made by British people, so they don't sugarcoat anything, and they don't like us that much, so it's like pretty true. And it's also not on any streaming services. It was released in like the 80s. It's on none of like the 1,000 streaming services. It's only on YouTube. So also, it makes you think maybe they don't want us to like know what's in it. And it's also 7 hours long. I watched an hour and a half, and I saw enough to make up my mind. So, oh yeah. Before I turned this documentary on, my only impression of the assassination was through the Seinfeld episode, the Magic Loogie episode, where Elaine is dating Keith Hernandez, and Newman goes, "I despise Keith Hernandez," because he like called him. He goes, "Nice game, pretty boy," and then Keith Hernandez allegedly spits on Kramer. It ricochets off and hits Newman, and but then obviously Jerry alleges that there was a second spitter. And so that was just, I remember, I was like probably 10 when I watched this, and my parents, I was like, what's this about? My parents were like, oh, the JFK assassination. So for like most of my life, I think I just assumed there was like a second shooter, because Jerry said there was a second spitter. So I turned on this documentary. Within the first like 2 minutes, they showed the video footage of JFK getting assassinated. So this is it. So can you guys kind of see this? Okay. So that's JFK, and that's his wife, Jackie. So this is after the first, like, he kind of gets like shot in the back a little, and he leans forward. And then this is the next one. Boom! That's his, that's his fucking head. Look where it's hitting him, right in the front. And then he goes back. That's his head. So he goes, look, like in the sequence, forward, boom, back. Oh no, forward, boom, back. So I like see this in the first 2 minutes. I'm like, obviously there's a second, like Jerry was right, there's a second shooter. And so, so then they take him to like the Dallas hospital, and all the doctors there are like, yeah, his brains are gone, but they like won't let the Dallas hospital do the autopsy. They fly him back to DC where they do like a more convenient autopsy. And so like these guys were all like, yeah, like that didn't match what we fucking saw when we brought him in here. And oh shoot, I got ahead of myself. So okay. So this guy was like, yeah, his brains got blown out in like whatever, the front area, which like supports the theory that there was a shooter in the, say it with me, the grassy knoll. Yes, the infamous grassy knoll. These people, all from the documentary, thought it came from the grassy knoll. Everyone there was like, the grassy knoll. And, but no, the police go straight to the book depository. First, for some odd reason, they know exactly where to go. And first, also, like, these windows are open. What kind of security is gonna like drive the president of the United States in a top-down convertible through Dallas, Texas? I mean, anywhere. And like the windows are open on buildings. Like that's like bad security. So they go there and then they arrest Lee Harvey Oswald, as we all know. Here we go. And he was a convenient, so like I'm sure the documentary got to this, that he didn't actually do it. I just didn't watch that far. But I feel like he didn't, or he was like really coerced into doing it. Because he was like an ex-military guy, so that's convenient. Like he knows how to shoot, except that all of his friends in the military were like, he's like bad at shooting guns. And the gun that he used was an old like Italian rifle that like was broken. And then he like lived in Russia for a bit, and he was like also a socialist. And so I feel like it was easy to just be like, oh yeah, like the Russian socialist murdered your president. And everyone's like, yeah, we don't like those things. That sounds correct. I'm going to diverge for a minute because he's hot. He's like, he's very hot. Objectively speaking, Lee Harvey Oswald's like a babe. Like I would give an 8.5 out of 10, which is pretty good because I don't find most people attractive. He's attractive, and I don't know, just like leave him alone, guys. And then this is his birth chart. So he's a Libra, and the four zodiac signs most likely to commit murder are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. So take that as you will. He's not one of those four things, so like maybe he didn't do it. But then, like the next day after he gets arrested, Jack Ruby, this like mob person who like knew Al Capone, which is kind of cool, shoots him. And I'm like, you assassinate the president, and then in police custody, you're just gonna let a mob person shoot you. That doesn't just like happen. That just doesn't. So. Yeah, look at this photo. That's Jack Ruby shooting him, and he's like, whoa. Like, what? What? And then it's easy to accuse somebody of murder if they're dead. That's all I'm gonna say. So that was nuts, and there's more in that too. I'm sure I just didn't watch that far into the documentary. And so, going back to this photo analysis, so somebody did take a photo of the grassy knoll. And so that's JFK, and this was like a millisecond before he got shot. By the front thing that we've established. We all know he got shot in the front of the head. So then these photo analysis people really zoned in on like that section, and like it looks just like blurry stuff, but like look, there's a person there shooting something, and they called him Badge Man because he was wearing a badge because he was like dressed like an officer. This guy confirms it, so he was there, and he was there like taking photos, and then like a whole like a bullet came past the side of his head, and he fell, and then this officer came and like took his camera that he had, and yeah, the British know how to get a good documentary. So then next to the police officer, this one's a bit of a stretch for me. They said that there's like a construction worker made up of these shadows. And I first saw that and I was like, I don't know. But then they put kind of the three together. So this is like the guy taking the photo, this is the officer, and this is the construction worker. And I'm kind of like, I don't know about like this guy. But this person confirmed it because he drove on the overpass. Oh no. He drove on the overpass to watch it. He saw like someone in a uniform shoot the gun, hand it off to a railroad worker. They put it away, and but he is deaf, so he tried to get like another officer's attention, and like nobody could hear him, and no one wanted to listen to him. So he also saw the other person. So, and then that's as far as I got in the documentary. But again, it's like enough to be like, yeah, okay. And then this like kind of brings it into like now, because like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Just last week was like, oh yeah, the CIA killed my uncle. This is not an endorsement, by the way, to vote for him, but. I was watching this news segment, and they were saying that 50% of people believe others were involved in JFK's death. So it's not even a conspiracy if most people believe it. Right? And then this was the breakdown of like 50% think others were involved, 38% think one man, Lee Harvey Oswald, boo, those 38% people are dumb. And then the 12% don't know. And then this was like the breakdown that they thought, CIA, mafia, That's all I have on this. Oh, that's my handle too, if you guys want to follow me. I think most of you do.